One Piece chapter 1133, it is titled Nice Things. The cover page finally revealed the individual who we believe had been going around and stealing everything, and this is none other than Hold'em, who currently has Otama in his grasp. I wonder if Hold'em knows about Yamato or who Yamato is, because well, he should definitely not mess with her, especially knowing that that is Kaido's son. She is pretty freaking strong, one of the strongest characters in this series, but nevertheless, Yamato, she's finna whoop some ass in the next cover page. The chapter starts off with us getting another look at Robin's struggles as she tries to survive during the Ohara flashback. Even though it's a little bit of the same thing that we saw with her first flashback during Enies Lobby, I believe that Oda included this because he wanted to remind us just how impactful the reunion that happened later in the chapter was. But in this version of the flashback, we got to see Spandine talking to reporters, really selling the fact that Robin was behind the Ohara incident, and he was the reason why she got the nickname the Devil Child. Obviously, if you like Robin as a character, it's not cool seeing her suffer for crimes that she didn't commit, but in terms of objectively looking at it from wanting a good story, it's really well done, because there are so many people telling lies like Robin had the eyes of a killer, she's got no human emotions, how so many people wanted her dead. But what motivates Robin to stay alive during all this suffering is hearing Nico Olivia telling her that she has to live, and laughing like Saul always told her to. Heck, you even saw Robin draw Ohara on a map because the world government had already removed that country. It's so sad and so tragic. Honestly, Robin has arguably a top 3 saddest backstory, not just from the Straw Hats, but in all of One Piece. Is it a hot take to say that after Egghead, Elbaf has the best technology that we've seen in the series? In the last chapter, we saw that they could make their own rainbows and sail on them, and then in this chapter, they pour on sea clouds. And I know, yes, that's not technology, but I wanted to mention it because that's the same sea that we saw with the Sky Island. But the technology that I was referring to in this chapter is the Savar, which is a mist ship that used the buoyancy of island clouds to sail. Heck, even Lilith was impressed that with the climate, they can support island clouds, sea clouds, bubbles, rainbows, and hovering. Does this have a connection to the Sky Island, and does it involve the Heaven World? I also wonder if Usopp's Milky Dial will work here, since it was the only dial that didn't work, likely because of the environment. On the Savar, there was Jerd and Goldberg, and it's really cool seeing how Rudin and the other new giant pirates talking to Luffy. Although, even though he's a weirdo, you gotta feel for my boy Roy, because they got him looking like he's about to get crucified. One thing that is really intriguing to me is how Rudin talked about the news regarding Big Mom's defeat, that it made it over to Elbaf, even though they don't pay attention to the outside. And looking at other countries, Wano has an excuse because it's isolated from the outside world because of their walls, but why do the giants of Elbaf not pay attention to the outside world? And if you look at it in the Viz translation, the word never is in bold, so maybe that's something that will be addressed later. Obviously, the reason why Big Mom's name stands out is because of what she did to Elbaf as a child. Y'all know what happened during the winter harvest. I'm not going to stay on that topic too long. The Straw Hats, they're ready to bust down and go ahead and eat, when all of a sudden Robin has a request that she wants to go and visit Saul, and Jerd, she is taking Robin to the school below the library. All the Straw Hats are here with Robin and want to see the reunion, except for Zoro and Jinbei, who are just tagging along for sightseeing. I don't necessarily think that it's mandatory, but Luffy believes that as her captain, he should pay his respects to someone that helped out a member of his crew. I think this is really cool and mature coming from Luffy. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content content almost each and every day. We make it to the Owl Library and it looks so beautiful. It also could hold the remaining secrets of the Void Century and complete Vegapunk's theory. Luffy, we know the type of person that he is. He is itching to go take back Saul, where Nami, she stops him because this is supposed to be Robin's moment. All of a sudden, a giant comes running saying that Saul has fallen and can't get up. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but this reminds me so much of those Life Alert commercials that I would see on either Nicktoons, Cartoon Network, Disney, just all of them as a kid. The Straw Hats' reactions to this is priceless, especially Luffy and Sanji talking about how they just got here and Robin had been waiting 22 years to reunite. So you gotta be kidding, this is some bullshit. However, Robin, she's not concerned, and I don't think any of us readers were either, because Oda definitely wouldn't have let something happen to Saul before he was able to reunite with Robin, because there would be no point in him being alive if that was the case. I love how Oda called back to their first interaction where Saul's washed up on the shore and Robin didn't react or get surprised in the slightest. They talked a little bit about how Vegapunk's message essentially proved that Ohara scholars' voices were heard. Really cool, showcasing that they existed with how much the world government has tried to eliminate their existence. Saul has a scar over his eye and he has a peg leg, and we also found out how he was able to survive the Ohara massacre. When he came to, he was drowning in the sea because the flames of the island melted the ice and dropped Saul into the sea. Now, some people are not necessarily satisfied with how Saul was able to survive the incident, because it's a little bit messy. Number one, we know the type of justice Aokiji stands for, and there's been different instances where he's held back fighting against different opponents, and well, their opponents in the time, but they're really individuals that he cares about, like Saul and more recently Garp. Now, some people will take Aokiji's statement in chapter 1126 at face value, where he talks about how he tried to kill Garp. Now, personally, I won't take it at face value because we know the type of kind-hearted person Aokiji is. And number two, during his fight with Akainu at Punk Hazard, they clashed for so long and it was so intense that they ended up changing the topography of the island, and the ice doesn't melt even though that there's fire that remained from Akainu's magma. So if that didn't melt, then why did Saul end up melting? The only logical conclusion that I could come up with is that Aokiji potentially awakened his devil fruit, and he used that awakening only when he was fighting Akainu. The best example I could give for this would be another ice user and his abilities, and I'm referring to Grey Buster from Fairy Tail. With his normal ice abilities, Grey can use ice make magic to produce objects, and with his Devil Slayer magic, it makes even stronger and colder ice that can't be broken with normal flames. So maybe Aokiji has a similar ability. But the chapter ends with one of the most emotional scenes in all of One Piece. Robin and Saul, they embrace, and the two of them not only cry, they break down, like cry, which is understandable after everything that they'd been through, especially Robin, everything she went through in order to survive for the 22 years. Once they finish crying, oh, they definitely finna have a headache. I don't know about you guys, but I know when I was a kid and I cried my eyes out where like snot was coming out my nose, I would get a headache and have to take a nap. I can't wait to see this scene animated, because with the OST, the voice acting, it's going to elevate this scene a lot more. Heck, I'll probably be crying like the other Straw Hats too, because well, everybody that wasn't Luffy, Zoro, and Jinbei, they were crying their eyes out too. I can't wait for Saul to meet them in the next chapter, especially because he told Robin that eventually she'll meet individuals that will want to be with her. Different things related to the Straw Hats have come full circle during this arc, like Usopp finally visiting the Elbaf country. Then there's the treasure tree Adam, which was associated with Frankie building the Straw Hat ship, the Thousand Sunny. And then lastly, Robin being able to reunite with Saul. Love the connections. We'll be on a break for the next 2 weeks, and we're supposed to be getting a new chapter on December 22nd, but you know, with the scans, we'll probably get it a few days earlier. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know how you guys feel about chapter 1133 in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. That's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.